Hey everyone, welcome back to the Art to Life vlog. One of the things I struggle with is acrylic paint, especially on large paintings. And that's why I usually use oil paint. But I've been having some problems, to be honest, with things falling apart on paintings when I send them places. I actually have a client in Australia and their paintings peeling. And so I'm always playing with materials and, I think it's finally caught up to me. But anyway, so I've been working on acrylic paint, using acrylic paint on large paintings because you can do it. I prefer to do acrylic on smaller paintings. Here's why acrylic paint is hard for me, is because it dries and then you can't manipulate it. And that's what's so great about oil painting. I love that you get that sticky quality with oil paint and you can blend things and move things around. You have more time. So this is one of my paintings right now. It's all acrylic, which I'm kind of excited about. I'm still working on it, but acrylic is just so stable. And one of the things is I roll these paintings up and I ship them, and I was getting some cracking happening on the oil paintings. So some delamination and stuff, I don't know. But anyway, so now I'm using acrylic. But there's a cool thing that happens with acrylic paint. There's a sweet spot when you're working on it. When it's still wet, it's damp, it's not dry. Once it dries, I don't like it. It's just hard. I feel like I'm working on the side of a building. When it's still damp though, you can manipulate the paint. And I don't know if you play around with or notice this with acrylic paint. It is really cool what you can do. When it stays damp and you can paint on top of it and the color underneath doesn't come through, which is kind of cool because it's pretty dry, but it's not bone dry. Then you put paint on top of it and you can smear it in, you can manipulate it, and you can create surfaces and textures and interesting things. So so that's what I'm doing. I will paint a painting, I'll get areas like this big area and I'll get it in, and then I kind of wait for it to get tacky. So, and it's kind of something you got to play around with, but you can actually, it's almost like the paint becomes like clay and you can polish it and smooth it out. And it becomes more like ceramic or more like clay, actually. Let me show you what I mean. This paint is mostly dry, but there's still areas that are damp. So right in here, it's quite damp and it kind of comes off on my fingers, but it's cool to the touch. That's how you can tell. But when I put paint on it, it can lay on the surface. It doesn't come off. The orange doesn't come up through the yellow. And then I can take a piece of vellum, and I use vellum a lot for this. It's like a hard piece of plastic. And I can rub this in to the paint. So you can see, if this was wet paint, that wouldn't go on like that. Like I'm blending this. This is acrylic paint, you guys. It's not oil paint. And this blends it. I don't know. You have to kind of play around with it. It wouldn't work if that paint was really wet. The other cool thing is when it's damp like this, you can scrape through it, right? You can scrape and manipulate the paint. Let me grab a different tool over here. The paint is still soft. So it allows you to do some things and you can dig through. It's still vulnerable, so I can scrape down. And there's just amazing textures and things you can get with this. So it all has to do with how the paint, if it's damp, you're able to keep things going. It all kind of mixes together. And yeah, and so that's, you can use your finger, you can smear this in. Anyway, that's probably hard to see, but you got to play around with it. It's just something, let me know if you understand that. Like, do you do that? There's this really amazing moment when acrylic is almost dry that allows you to do really cool things with it. Let me know in the comments if you are aware of that and try it. It's something else. I have a really cool podcast coming out on Wednesday. It's with my friend Bonnie. She's a surface designer. We did an episode with her about a year and a half ago, episode 22. But she's just a dear friend and is just crushing it in her art, in her business. And we're talking about entrepreneurship. And I think there's some, we tend to think of like, well, I'm a fine artist and I don't do business. And she blows that all up. And we really want to be thinking both ways. We want to be thinking about our work mostly, thinking about how it impacts us, but if we can also hold a view from the outside of ourselves, that is called marketing. And I know it's kind of a dirty word, but having an awareness of this, having an awareness of how your art lands, the story you tell people, can make a giant difference on how it's received and who buys it and all the rest of it. Because ultimately, for a lot of us, we want to make our art and we want to sell our art so we can make more. So anyway, that's coming out. Click on the link below and check that out. She's doing this really cool art immersion day. It's coming out in October. There's a link down below. I'm one of the keynote speakers. I'm going to do a whole thing. I'm going to be actually in Morocco live streaming this thing. I pray to God the internet works. But I'll be teaching some stuff, and she's got a whole lineup of really cool people that are going to be speaking at this thing. There's a link down below to go and sign up for that. She just gives a tremendous amount of value. It's like a 3-day thing she's putting on. So anyway, check that out, and I hope you guys have a really awesome Sunday and get some art in there. Okay, thanks you guys. Hey everyone, if you found this helpful, I have a whole lot more to teach, share, and inspire you with every single week. So join the Art to Life YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Okay, let's do this. Awesome.